New at 6, a Northeast Missouri museum is getting a facelift. Crews have begun working at the Louisiana Area Historical Museum. They're putting in a new facade, replacing the windows and doing some repair work there in the front of the museum. This is the first of 3 phases for the renovation project, and they also plan to make some upgrades inside.
History is important to remember, but it's also important to keep that history alive. And one way to do that is to make sure our buildings that house that history are in good shape, and that's what we're doing with this project.
Now, the project is being paid for with all donations. The museum will be closed until the first phase of the renovations are complete.